Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the Daily Life Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Victor Young. And I'd like to start out by saying, welcome back, Planet Earth. It's good to talk to you. It's been a while. But before we get started, I got to drop my disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. This is not professional advice, nor does it constitute the opinions of any of the podcast channels, networks, Young Enterprises, or any of my affiliate organizations. So, be entertained. Now we've got legal out of the way. You know, the world has changed since last time we've spoke. Wow. In this post-pandemic world, my eyes have seen, my ears have heard, my spirit has felt unmeasurable changes. I've experienced sickness and amazing health, struggles and amazing wealth, loneliness and overwhelming community, wise people testifying and teaching, while fools tell tales mistaking luck or good timing for their greatness. I've raised up men and women and also destroyed enemies. I've struggled in silence and I've strived in chaos. And through it all, I'm still standing. And I'm standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. Feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life. You know the rest of the story. If you're listening to this podcast, you're still standing with me through all the changes, through adversity, racism, sexism, wokeism, sleepism, napism. I got to figure out where I'm at in all this. Am I a napper? I don't know. We're going to find out this season with the Daily Life Coach. I've seen so much. I've seen how easy it is for individuals to lose their ability to think on their own, how the influencer machine, media, has taken control of wise people's thoughts and minds, beliefs, how propaganda can change the nation, divide communities, divide families. Let's talk about all these changes, the evolution of what's occurred in the last, we're going to call it, let's see, we'll take from 2020, so let's call it 3 years. Just so you know, the world has evolved about 20 years in the last 3 years, and so many people don't know what happened. They feel anxiety and depression and stress, and it's because technically we've gone through a time warp. It's like we just jumped. Like watching Star Wars and you see someone jump space. That's what we've done in the last 3 years. Technology has been changing the world. Death is changing the world. Have you noticed how many people die close to you lately? Have you noticed how many wealthy people exist? Overnight wealth, and then all of a sudden disaster strikes and they're broke. How does that happen? How can someone multiply their wealth so rapidly? What does it take to do that? And I think what we found is there was a lot of smoke and mirrors going on the last 3 years. And we're about to see Judgment Day. What does that mean, Judgment Day? The tablecloth is about to get snatched off the table with Christmas dinner sitting on top of it. In rare situations, I've seen it where it's really cool and nothing moves. But most situations, you end up eating off the floor. We're about to see truth like we've never seen it. We're flying down this mountain, and truth is at the bottom. The truth is at the bottom of the mountain. And we're picking up speed, and we're going faster and faster towards the bottom of this mountain. And when we slam ourselves into the truth, it's going to be like a meteor striking the planet Earth that's the size of Australia. What are we going to do when we actually see the truth? And this isn't some left or right wing conspiracy truth that I'm talking about here. It's just the truth. And the truth is, damn it, just the truth. What happens when everybody sees everything live in color? Can we handle the truth? One of the best lines in television, film, I should say. You can't handle the truth. Can we actually handle the things we're about to see and experience? Are we prepared to go through the things we're about to see and experience? I've been talking about a recession that's coming on. And it's not your normal recession. It's not like all the banks failing years ago. Although we did see Silicon Valley Bank. They failed, but anyway, we're about to see opportunities dry up at a rate that we've never seen before. United States of America is known as the land of hope and opportunity. But we're going to see a lot of that hope and opportunity. I don't know. Hope will always exist. I'm a hope guy. I'm definitely a glass half full type of guy. Hope will be there. But the amount of opportunities, the number of opportunities, the way that we've spent money on these opportunities in the past is dying. What does that mean for us, the little guy on the street? But before you answer that, this episode is brought to you by Dunamis Interstellar Bourbon, where power is power. Premium spirits made for extraordinary people. Visit DunamisPremiumSpirits.com and visit your local Total Wines or restaurant and ask for Dunamis Interstellar Bourbon. For game changers, founders, rainmakers, creators, and all the other extraordinary that keeps our planet intact. Drink Dunamis Interstellar Bourbon. And we're back. I had to have a little Dunamis Interstellar Bourbon on that break. So we know we're headed towards this new world, right? So I'm no longer going to talk about, get a job. I'm not going to motivate. I'm not going to inspire. I'm just going to talk the truth to you. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to coach today. Today I'm not in a coaching mood. Today I'm not in the inspirational mood. But I am in the sharing mood today, so I'm going to share with you today. Post-pandemic, through all the chaos, through all the greatness, all the millionaires and billionaires that were made, something that was really just easy to see is all this new wealth. As the money was spent, it all went home back to the same people. And these individuals are the ones that are looking into the future, that understand the cycle of money, that understands how money works, the pace of money, the speed of money, the flow of money. How does money move? Do you even understand that? If you don't and you're not paying attention, what's about to become of you? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. What's going to become of me if I just wander through the woods with my bear whistle that I bought from the local convenience store in Alaska? Everyone else has a 30-06 or 6.5 Creedmoor or 338 Lapoa Barrett. But me, I've got my whistle. I've got a bear whistle. That's what I've got. Wandering through the woods aimlessly, not paying attention to the speed of money, how money is transacting, the global market, my local market, jobs leaving based upon technology. I've been telling you guys this for 5 years. Technology, come on. AI is about to eat up the middle class. It's being devoured as we speak. You can hear them munching. That's the middle class being eaten alive right now by artificial intelligence. Banking, customer service, retail, insurance services. The list goes on. I could just continue. All the places that marketing, advertising, all the places that the middle class occupies, where they eat, where they make their money, is being devoured by AI. The gut punch comes with quantum processing. So I'm going to tell you this. If you know nothing about quantum processing and you know nothing about AI, other than a cool chat product that'll write a paper for you, or chat bots used now in customer relations and customer service, or the rest of bots that are occupying restaurant spaces from taking orders to app to kitchen to whatever it is. Camera vision for security, logistics, shipping. We're surrounded by AI. But quantum processing is the mic dropper. What am I going to do about it, you ask me? I'm glad you asked that question. I can't answer it all in this podcast because I'm coming back light. This is Victor Light you're getting. This is Victor Young Light. I'm trying to stick my toe in the water in this comeback episode of The Daily Life Coach. And I've already hit you with a lot. From love and loneliness to chaos and community. I've hit you with all this already. I just want to open your mind up a little bit. So if you're sitting back in your room right now, smoking your legal vape pen, getting your high on, feeling good, at least drinking some Dunamis Interstellar bourbon, my goodness. That pen's pretty expensive. Bourbon's probably cheaper. Like $60 a bottle. Those pens are like $100, $140 each. I don't know. Anyway, while you're sitting back, hitting the old vape pen, hanging out, having a good time, wondering what's next, this planet is shifting under your feet like sand on the beach. If you don't find your place in it and your skill set soon, that allows you to walk along with technology and innovation, walk next to it for as long as you can, you won't have a place soon. You won't even have a vape pen. You'll be back to old school bong, stuffing a nickel bag on top. You won't even be able to go buy that fancy vape pen soon because the world is changing rapidly. Wealth is changing globally. And I want you to think for 1 second. I just want you to stop. Do I have your attention? Pull over to the side of the road if you're driving because I don't want you crashing into someone because this is a deep question. I want you to think about this. And this is not a scary question. This question is not meant to scare you or to shock you or to motivate you. It's just meant to make you think for a second because sometimes we don't do that. When's the last time you just sat with yourself, by yourself, and thought? But here's your question. Where will I fit into this world in 5 years? Where will I fit in? There's elderly parents dying off. And unfortunately, I see kids don't even have enough money to pay the rent. And if it's rent-free, they don't even have enough money to pay the electric bill because they're skill-free. They're carefree. What happens if you had to change careers today? What would you do? Are you working on the change already? I look at all these guys that 5 years ago says, I'm going to get into coding. I'm going to code camp. And I'm going to learn how to code. Well, now you got low code, no code. You got machine learning, machines programming machines. Pretty soon that'll be another disrupted industry. Disruption is occurring so fast on the heels of technology that if you're not thinking ahead, reinventing yourself every day, you're sitting on a Death Star. We've been running around real estate. Real estate has peaks and valleys. We're heading into the valley right now. The guys that are hanging around with money, waiting to make deals, they don't want someone experimenting with their money. They want to deal with a guaranteed exit in a matter of months so they can get their money back with a 15% return or higher. Giving a inexperienced person their money to go and experiment and learn how to do business on, those days are dying. It's on life support right now. And it's downright damn cute to see an inexperienced person say, I know you work hard for your money, but give it to me because I've got a great idea. I'm going to go experiment with your money and try it out and see if it works for me. And if I lose all your damn money, you knew the risk going in. So shut your pie hole and write the check. I know you're thinking, well, that's a little extreme, but that's pretty much how you sound to a sane person who understands the market and who realizes the market has changed. And it's time to manage every dollar and every second of time inventory. It's time to think about the future. It's time to be a part of the future. It's time to understand what's going on in space. Sounds crazy, right? Why do you think you have all these billionaires getting to space? It's like a space race, but not for governments. This is like Tony Stark stuff going on. Blue Origins, SpaceX, you name it. Every guy with $1 billion in his pocket's trying to get a spaceship together so they can colonize. You don't think that's a little bit suspicious? Yeah, I want to live long, so I think I'm going to leave this planet soon because I have enough money to realize what's really going on this planet. Or the next financial opportunity, maybe in aerospace and aviation. Hell, if I was a kid, I'd probably go work for SpaceX right now. I'd go sign up for SpaceX. I know D. Trump didn't invent SpaceX, but he funded it. You might want to look into SpaceX. Hey, my nephews, if you're listening out right now, my nieces, check out SpaceX. You might have like a inside lane to hop it up on the space station when things turn to hell down here on Earth. And if it does, think about this one. One last question. We spend a lot of time every single day thinking about how we want to live. How do I want to live? What kind of car do I want to drive? What kind of helicopter do I want to fly? Well, that's easy for me. It's a Bell Jet Ranger 505 in black, tall skids, in black, high skids, full panel. You know, usual suspect. I like that stuff. What car do I want to drive? Well, of course, the new Lamborghini Revuelto or Revuelto, depending on where you're from. That's all easy, right? How do I want to live? What do I want to drive? What do I want to eat? Caviar, healthy turmeric cereal. I want dinosaur eggs with diamond sprinkles. We know all this stuff. The final question is this. How do I want to die? How? Would I like to see myself die? I never thought about that question until the pandemic because I actually saw a lot of people die. Some people were in hospitals alone, away from their families. Some were, in their homes alone. Some people were surrounded by loved ones. Some people died unexpectedly. And it made me think, what if I found out today that I had a year to live? How would I want to spend that last year? First thing pops in my brain is this. I would want to live a year of bullshit-free existence. I wouldn't want to be lied to, manipulated, taken for granted, underappreciated, overworked. I think I'd want to live the last year of my existence, leaving a mark on the planet, having some good food, enjoying some good company with friends, and leaving the planet feeling like I made somewhat of a difference, feeling like I participated. That's all. One thing I've learned is I can't get it all in. I can't do everything I want to do by the time I leave this planet. It's a guarantee because there's always something off my list. And I used to think I would leave this planet with a group of my closest friends sobbing hysterically around me. Because like I've said in the past, I want people to cry when I go. I'm not one of these people that's like, be festive, be happy. No, I want people crying. I want people miserable, sobbing uncontrollably. I can't believe he's gone. I want snotting, sneezing, crying. I want passing out. I want the full experience. Can you give that to me? I don't know if I can get it, though. Because we've been desensitized so much in this world. We've seen so much hurt and death and division that I don't even know if we know how to die anymore. Because if you never learn how to live, how in the heck could you ever learn how to die? We have to control everything. We've got to manage every little detail. We got to document every step. Just hit my morphine pump. Let me get this picture, post it. I don't even know if we have the ability to have an internal experience anymore. Human beings having spiritual experiences or emotional experiences. I'm not even sure if we're equipped to do that anymore. So that question has made me do an inventory check of what's important to me. And for all you lazy bastards out there looking to quit your job tomorrow, how dare you use my podcast to get a week off? Get it together. It's not what I'm saying. I'm going to quit my job and manipulate everyone for the next 10 years, 20 years, or... No. Snap out of it. This is grown folks talk here. What do you want to do? How do you want to get it in? What's important to you? If you had to take it all off the table and bring back 3 or 4 things that you can only bring back 3 or 4, what would they be? Who would you help? What would you learn? What would you improve? What type of greatness would you become a part of? Because let me tell you something. When you really start to look at death and you realize it's coming, it should be a wake-up call. You don't have to worry about whether or not you want to be here anymore or not, because that decision is being made for you now. Take that off the list. Now you just get to think about how you want to be here, how you want to participate, or not. Some people just want to chill. I get that. There's some tired people right now who just want to sit down, get some Dunamis on the rocks, or neat. It's really good neat too. And just chill and watch Alchemy of Souls, Season 1, or I don't know, what else are people watching on television nowadays? Creed 3 was pretty good. Maybe I'd check that movie out. That or some good old WWE. That's entertainment. Whatever it may be, whatever you decide to watch, that's okay too, if you've done your part. And that's an accomplishment if you feel, I've done my part. I've raised children, I've taught people things, teachers, hats off to you. I've done it all. Then what would you do? We've got to learn how to live, and we've got to live fearlessly, right? And then we got to figure out, all right, one day I'm going to die. How do I want to die? What's my death going to look like? I discovered my death is going to take a long time to plan and live out. I'm going to need at least another 35 years of dying before I get my list low enough that I can feel good about leaving here. Unless I have some really productive weekends, I could probably knock some time off of that, get it down to maybe 30-ish. But I don't think I want to rush that. I think I want to do quality over quantity, and, I'm not going to rush it. But I start to realize what was important to me when I thought about when I can't do it anymore, when I can't do the thing that I do anymore, when I can't learn and grow anymore, when I can't look into the future or move my body. Maybe by that point I've gone Lucy on that somebody, I'm using like 90% of my brain and I can just turn into particle matter and be the spirit that floats around and, move things. Drag chains or something. I don't know. What do spirits do when they get up there? Figure that out. That's another podcast too. What does it look like? And once you discover how you want to die, it allows you to live better. It allows you to live more deliberately. What would I like to save? The manatees? Dolphins? What? Do I want to hug a tree? Do I want to adopt a dog? I don't know. What do I want to do before I die? It's crazy because sometimes we struggle so much with learning how to live. But the second we hear that clock is ticking, there's so many things that we want to do that we've neglected or not thought about or not pursued. And then as soon as the clock starts ticking, the Sandman turns over to the hourglass of sand and time. Now we're in a rush and we feel shortchanged and hurt because we didn't get a chance to live fearlessly, purposefully, actually, deliberately, presently. All the Lees. Bruce Lee, every Lee. So I leave you with this. Once I discovered how I wanted to die, it shifted my thinking into a higher realm, a different place, because I realized what was important and what I needed to accomplish. I stopped thinking about how I wanted to die, per se, in a sense of, am I in a bed? Am I in a chair? Where does it happen? And I started thinking more about the journey to passing and going to a better place and what that looks like. Can't take any money with me. I start spending more money on things that make sense, not just frivolous, dumb purchases. Products that bring me happiness. Quality products. Not just a quantity of stuff. I don't buy stuff anymore. I don't buy things just to buy them anymore. I don't need a gazillion of them. I don't need 60 suits. I'm even simplifying that. Navy and black. Those are my suit colors now. Makes my life easy. I reach in, I'm going to grab a navy or black suit, and I got a white shirt. And I got to go match ties and wonder what people think about my ties. Just simplifying life. Spending that creative energy on things that are important to me. Things that will allow me to feel like I lived on the way to my death. It's probably not the welcome back planet Earth you thought you were going to get today. But I think it's the welcome back planet Earth that we needed to talk about today. We need to wake up a little bit. We've gone through a lot, and we need to figure out how to recover. And for all these people who lost money and opportunities and jobs and that were influenced by the wrong people, start using your brain again. Before you go vote for someone, I don't care who you vote for. But don't let the headlines tell you who to vote for. Vote for the individual who talks to your inner self, who talks to your values. I think this herd mentality that we have joined post-pandemic, we were taught to be herd animals. Get over here, stand over here, do this, eat this, drink this, taste that. We're being controlled in a way that may be a little unhealthy. So, enjoy your freedom. Start preparing for your death way in advance. Don't wait until the last minute. Give yourself 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Start preparing for your death. Take control of your brain again, because AI is coming. I take that back. AI is here. Quantum processing is right around the corner. Quantum processing computers scare me. CERN, Switzerland, the colliders and atom smashers. My goodness. We're in a new world, and I think we have people still trying to live in a post-pandemic or pre-pandemic world. The pre-pandemic planet is no more. Find your place, find your space, get your crew together, get your community together, whatever you got to do to make your stand. Start thinking about it. Open your mind. Don't vote because Facebook or Instagram told you a story. Put your shovel in the ground. Start digging deeper. So many things are happening just below the surface of the planet, but most of us are too lazy to stick a shovel in the ground. Too many of us are so lazy we don't want to peel back one layer of truth. And frankly, the world is going to be controlled by truth in the near future. That's blockchain, truth and data. Once we arrive there, a world being governed by truth that's operated in the shadows of so many untruths and lies could be devastating. We got to prepare for all this stuff. We think we want the truth, but once we start to see it every moment of every second of every day, then we'll have to make a decision, pick a side, find out who you are. And the only way I could truly find out who Victor was to start preparing for my death. When I leave this world, do I want to leave with a free mind as a free man? Or do I want to leave as a puppet? Someone who is in quorum and lockstep with his group of illogical peers. Find you, do you. The only way you learn how to live is by preparing for your death. And that's not an actual, I'm going to throw myself off some shit next week. Get that out of your head if you're thinking about that. And if you are, call a hotline right now. Talk to somebody. This is a figurative speech here. Prepare for your death by correcting your walk, correcting your life. I don't think you have time to play around and do the things you want to do right now. And maybe you're not serious every second of every moment of every day, but now is the time. Now is the time. You've got to start paying attention. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I know we covered a lot of ground. We're going to stick the shovel in the ground and get off the surface on the next podcast. Share this with a friend. You got to shake yourself. You got to shock yourself. You got to get out of this cycle of thinking that you're not really learning and you're not thinking that you're being influenced and told what to think and what's true. Find the truth and figure out what side of the truth you want to stand on. I really appreciate you opening your mind and thinking a little bit. We've been talking about AI for a while. AI now is old news. Find something and grab a hold of it. Make sure it's true. Make sure you can lean on it. Make sure you're willing to die for it. And remember, in order for you to die a good death, where you've made a difference along the way, you have to first learn how to live fearlessly, my friends. See you next time at the Daily Life Coach Podcast. Good day.